Now that I've had some actual experience driving a Fisker Ocean on some non-Fisker terms, let's go through your feedback you've given me on the channel recently and address some of the most important questions. Check out the driving video in the top right corner or the description below. But you're probably here to check out the charge curve and the road trip. Luckily, Brian, friend of the channel, has that part covered.
We're about to embark on a 500-mile road trip from our home here in Silver Spring, Maryland, out to the outer Cape Cod. We want to see exactly how many miles this thing's going to show once it gets to 100%. Right now, it's been at 99% for a while. Let me turn the camera around so you can see. Right now, it's still indicating 99%, 2 minutes remaining, and showing 358. Okay, literally as we were about to unplug and start our trip, we heard a little ding. And there you go, 360 miles, and we are at 100% state of charge. Let's unplug and hit the road. How about this? We're on our way and we're passing a truck filled with Fisker Oceans. How cool is that? That is a Big Sur Blue at the bottom there. There's the white up there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's about 7 of them on this guy. Very, very cool. All right, I'm checking in from Walmart Supercenter outside of Providence, Rhode Island. Plugged in with 7% state of charge, or 25 miles or thereabouts. And right now, we're having an issue with our touchscreen. My touchscreen right now is unresponsive. I can't get into my menus. I've reset it several times. Fisker is speculating that there's some sort of glitch that occurred because we had run our battery all the way down to about 6%, is as low as we got, and had an issue charging at an EV Go station 13 miles from here. There was a connection issue between the charger and our vehicle. Others were charging in different EVs, so I'm not convinced that it was an EV Go issue. It could have been an issue on the Fisker side, but at this point, I don't know. And we're also seeing extremely slow charging rate right now. Plugged in 2 minutes ago at 7% state of charge, and right now, our Ocean One is accepting 32.5-ish kilowatts. I don't see that this vehicle has any sort of preconditioning. The temperature outside is low 50s right now, and the car's been sitting out for a while. We only drove about 12 miles to get here. We're now at 10% state of charge per the Electrify America dispenser here. Ended up moving from the Hyperfast 350 unit over to this Ultrafast 150 unit, and after a couple of minutes we are pulling at 133 kilowatts. So this is about as fast as I've seen our Fisker Ocean charge at this point. I was just talking to an Ioniq 5 owner here in a neighboring stall, and on this same unit he typically gets 150, 160, even sniffs 170 occasionally. I'm going to take a look and see what some of these other vehicles are getting. Like I said, there's my guy in the Ioniq 5, and on this cabinet, 350 cabinet, he's getting 155 kilowatts at 48% state of charge. 7 minutes plugged in. Subaru Solterra over here is at 14 kilowatts, 83% state of charge. Why are they still here? No idea. They should not still be here.
Brian was at 113 kilowatts at 27%, 128 at 35%, 136 kilowatts at 39%, 137 right in the middle of the charge, right around 50%, 100 kilowatts at 70%, 90 kilowatts at 75%, and at 80, which was his last check-in, he was at 92 kilowatts. If you guys want to share your road trip experiences with the channel, drop a comment below, and feel free to give Brian a shout out as well. Or you can get a hold of me at adamsevreviews@yahoo.com if you want to send any photos or videos of your travels.
I can do my clubs, my pull cart, my shoes. So it does pass the golf test.
On to the comments. Still thinking I'll be a his and hers Fisker buyer, but I'm really hoping some of these bugs get squashed. I don't see another car that offers this much for this amount of money, except the Tesla, which I also find boring. My fear, besides the glitches, is that within a year or two the market will have many options at similar cost with less kinks. I think the EV options will continue to increase, but the volume will continue to be low. GM, Ford, Stellantis, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen Group all need internal combustion engine sales to profit. Only time will tell, but I doubt anyone is going to release anything completely competitive with the Ocean for a while, except Tesla, which is boring. A lot of people having similar sentiments to this comment are likely to mention the Fisker Pear, and at that point it becomes a waiting game. The Pear is definitely coming, but it will be just like the Ocean One. And with a projected launch date of 2025, you can only assume that a base MSRP Pear won't be available until 2026 or 2027. And most of us buy our cars based on, well, the fact that we need another car. So the waiting game doesn't always pay off. Thanks for your comment. I had some feedback about the recent contest that Fisker released, and while we will make some discoveries about range with the contest's parameters, it is really difficult to drive under 30 miles an hour for 30 miles in the United States. The grand prize is a $3,000 round-trip expenses-paid tour of the Graz, Austria Fisker Ocean facility, with $1,000 cash vouchers being presented to one winner in each of the participating countries. But there is no cash value. Let me know if you're going to participate, or if you did already, how your results turned out in the comments below. I made a short recently to let Fisker Ocean One owners know that I'm here to help if they have any questions. How do I get a tag? Some of the things you may need may be included in your delivery, other things may be FedExed to you, and also registration varies within each state. That said, normally the expectation is that the dealer will take care of it, but direct sales makes the responsibility of registration transfer to the owner. With the Ocean, you'll need some of, if not all of the following: a bill of sale, a loan promissory note, an out-of-state title, a bill of sale proof of address, an application for the certificate of title, an odometer disclosure statement, and proof of insurance. However, once again, every state is different. If you want to go to the DMV prepped and ready, it's best to ask for what you need either on the phone or by email, or look it up on your state's Department of Vehicles website, but the best way, in my opinion, is to take what you have to the DMV and understand that you may be turned away. Show them what you have, let them explain what you need, likely in a condescending way, if you're missing it, and then reach out to Fisker if you need to in order to get the documents that you're missing. Oh, and bring a form of payment, because there is a chance you may owe taxes on the vehicle as well, because some states do not allow direct sales, which means Fisker cannot accept your tax payment. And in the case that you did pay your taxes, you'll need proof of that too. For those of you who are in direct sales ban states, make sure you don't pay your taxes to Fisker, because it may be a long process to get that money back so you can provide it to your home state. Feel free to share any of your registration experiences in the comments below. I'd love to know what Fisker gives you and what your DMV required to complete the process. I did a video about the Ocean price changes to the Extreme, Sport, and Ultra models, and immediately after I released that video, Fisker released a list of benefits that Fisker Ocean One owners would receive throughout the life of the vehicle. I immediately published a short with that info. Here's that video. Ocean One owners just got a whole bunch more benefits. Let's go through those now. Free vehicle infotainment system upgrades. That's the next chip. New features over the air will be free for life. Complimentary premium wireless connectivity. That has to be a massive value over the life of the car. A 10-year Wi-Fi hotspot. And early access to the newest features. as well as an extended warranty, 7 years, 72,000 miles, a 4-year, 48,000-mile service package, a free first tire replacement, that's a huge value, $1,000 at ChargePoint charging, automatic access to the Fisker Ocean Membership Club with merch and events, with the full details coming soon. I had a question about how someone would watch video on the Ultra and Sport trim if the video options are only available when the car is in Hollywood mode and the Sport and Ultra don't have Hollywood mode equipped. You'd have to assume that on the Ultra and Sport, the videos would play on a portion of the screen and only be accessible when the vehicle is in park. However, that is all speculation because Fisker has not released any data regarding video playback in the Ultra and Sport trim. Sticking with the Ultra, I've had a couple of viewers reach out and say they have already received their VIN, but shipping information has not been released. And with questions like, how do we watch videos still looming, you have to wonder how long it will be before the Ultras start delivery. If you have any insights, let me know in the comments. From my driving video, I'd recommend a 12-minute version of this video, cut out all the unrelated personal info. That video is actually available right now. I've cut it down to only 17 minutes. It's available on my Patreon, and a monthly subscription is only $3. I'll release that video on the channel soon, but if you want to watch it now, it is up on Patreon. Any information about how to reproducibly engage cruise control? Bill was able to do it after my test drive by setting it when his foot was off the accelerator. A couple other viewers said it's 2 total taps, 1 to engage it and 1 to lock in your speed. We had a viewer ask whether or not the hooks would work with Lidl bags instead of Aldi bags, and Bill confirmed that the hooks were brand agnostic. And that's great news. We had a few commenters compliment Connie, who did the camera work for the driving video, and I agree with them, she did a wonderful job. And while we're giving thanks, I'd like to thank Brian and his wife, as well as Kevin from Fisker, for providing such an in-depth look at the user interface. Make sure you check out that video in the description and at the link in the top right corner. My wife asked Bill about aggressive drivers in the driving video, and our commenter said they've seen videos of trucks smoking EV drivers and calling it rolling coal. This has happened to me several times. Here's an example. Lots of trucks where I'm from, not many EVs. Let's just hope all those big trucks with illegal diesel exhaust systems have no idea what your Fisker Ocean actually is. After driving Bill's Ocean, would I make any changes to my test driving video conclusions? The sentiments from my test driving video are based on the test driving Ocean example. The sentiments from Bill's video are sentiments from Bill's Ocean. On the test drive, I drove the Ocean like I would on a test drive. When Bill gave me the keys, I drove the Ocean like a friend loaned me their vehicle, and I still wanted to be friends after I returned it. And if you ever wondered why demo units are always marked down so significantly, that's probably it. This one talks about how it's nice to have Kevin as part of the all-hands-on-deck approach. It does show just how desperate Fisker is to get vehicles to their customers. One of our commenters reacted, "I'm happy with what Fisker is giving the Ocean One buyers." And that's great to see. Regarding the ChargePoint benefit, I'm happy with this, yet have seen ChargePoint has slower charging than Electrify America. ChargePoint offers chargers of all speeds, from level 2, which is slow, all the way up to 250 kilowatt DC fast charging. Electrify America is DC fast charging only, and because of that, there are many fewer locations than ChargePoint. Another reason is that ChargePoint is one of the first nationwide charging networks, so obviously they are going to be more numerous. However, ChargePoint has a very, very poor business model. Not for them, for you. ChargePoint sells chargers and charging software services, but ChargePoint is not required to maintain its chargers. They push that onto the entity purchasing the charger. Unless you pay ChargePoint to maintain your charger via subscription, which is most likely an insanely high price, ChargePoint does not care if your charger is operational or not. ChargePoint doesn't sell electricity to consumers. Therefore, it's not a consumer-focused business, and as Sandy Monroe put it,
yeah, you're selling cows instead of milking them. Basically, that's the way it sounds to me.
That means that poor uptime is literally of no concern of ChargePoints. Don't believe me? Let's hear what this guy has to say.
So hi everybody, Michael Hughes, Chief Commercial and Revenue Officer at ChargePoint. Green says it's up and running and available. Gray says there might be something wrong with it. Another color indicates that somebody's charging there. Yeah. So you can plan your journey pretty well. The site host has to be engaged in that process to make sure we can deliver against it.
Right.
We're selling it to a site host. They're setting the price.
Right. Yeah.
So they may set it low because they're trying to sell cheesecake or hamburgers or coffee or whatever, but a seamless journey is possible.
That should be their slogan. There's a non-zero chance that you'll have that $1,000 worth of ChargePoint credit for a very, very long time as an Ocean One owner. You won't want to sit at a slow charger long enough to charge it up a lot, or there are faster, more convenient chargers along your road trip route, as most navigation systems and route planners will take you to the fastest, most convenient charging points available. Here's a cross-country road trip where a better route planner recommends 0 charge point locations. What if you ordered by 8/16/2022, but your delivery isn't until 2024? Can you still claim the credit on your 2022 return? Yes. The IRS website says you have 3 years to file your amendment. I've got a video on the ocean tax credit in the description and the top right corner. For the record, I played Cyberpunk 2077 at launch and never had any trouble. This actually reinforces your point, as many ocean owners have not had a single problem, but many have, often getting crickets from Fisker. But while the problems are expected to some extent, the crickets are horrifying. I could show you hundreds of examples of problems of different varieties: loss of power, being locked in the car, the 12-volt battery dying, unresponsive key fob, California mode not functioning properly. With an incomplete software suite, some problems can be expected, but I agree with my commenter 100% here in that the crickets are horrifying. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The subscription topic is new to me in the context of this brand. Is that an inevitability? Yes. Fisker Connected Services is listed in the manual, and there will certainly be a charge for this service, as the recent Ocean One benefits list free access to this service for the life of the vehicle. That means everyone else will have to pay for free access to be a benefit. This commenter mentions the fact that everyone in the US qualified for a tax credit on their Ocean One, and by reducing the price of the Extreme by $7,500, it makes the Extreme the same price effectively, as most Extreme trim Oceans were not confirmed during the transition period. Regarding that price change, Fisker needs to move cars at a premium price. It isn't harder than that. Most startups haven't made it. Volterra, Lightyear, Sono Motors, Bollinger, Lordstown, Canoe, Arrival, the list of fails is long. I really hope Fisker continues to succeed. This is correct. While Fisker has many shortcomings right now, the good news is they are delivering vehicles, and that would be both sides of the coin. What are powertrain robustness improvements? As an engineer, that's a very vague and non-technical description. It's as if Fisker just wanted to make some improvements sound super important and impressive. This could be true. I don't think there are any rules about how you word the disclosure of upcoming OTAs. Thanks for your comment. I've had a lot of questions about the Fisker Ocean Sport range estimate being lowered from 275 to 250 and now 231. The battery in the Fisker Ocean Sport is very similar to the battery of a standard range rear-wheel drive Model 3. In fact, it's made by the same company, so is most likely made up of the same type of batteries. And 275 miles in a Model 3 just is not possible. The Model 3 has a 52.5 kilowatt hour battery, but is much smaller and more aerodynamic than the Ocean. So you have to assume with the increase in the size of the battery between 52.5 and the 75 kilowatt hours that the Ocean Sport will have, they're basically set up to do around the same thing. And real world range for a Model 3 LFP is somewhere around 230 miles. Does this change my opinion of the Ocean Sport? It does not. The difference between 230 and 275 miles of range is 5% of the time. It will save you 5 to 10 minutes. And if that 10 minutes is that crucial to you based on your commute and your driving, you probably want to upgrade to the Ultra. Thanks for your comment. I had these questions come in from a viewer who changed their Ultra to an Extreme trim. Do you know if the change to Extreme will change the delivery timetable? I'm still thinking mid-summer to fall 2024. Extreme trims are being delivered soon. If people don't have them in their hands already, the Extreme trim is being delivered right now. If you're not located in the UK, which seems to be a little behind, also Canada seems to be a little behind, but if you're not in those two countries, the launch countries seem to be moving forward quickly, and your Extreme could come sooner than you think. Definitely reach out to Fisker to see what they have to say about that. Did you and Bill discuss and figure out the cruise control? We answered that one already. I saw Bill had the 48 amp Emporia. Does Fisker come with any charging cable apparatus? No. The Ocean doesn't come with any charger upon delivery. You'll have to pick something. They obviously do sell that wall box, and Bill went with the Emporia. My personal recommendation, if you are going to spend the $600, is to get the Tesla Universal Connector. It's future-proofing its 48 amp, and it charges any vehicle without an adapter. Have you received an update on your Ocean Sport? Let's look at that right now. So it's asking me if I want to finance Let's hit change to cash. At that point, you'll be able to see a little bit more. It says, do you want to buy the home charger? And then it says coming soon. The listed steps below are not ready for your attention yet and only serve as a roadmap for what's on the horizon in your Fisker purchase journey. So I could go to Fisker Finance right now, or looks like I could pay them cash if I wanted to do that also. Those other steps aren't ready yet, so I'm holding off. I haven't seen anyone get a Sport notification yet, and the EPA figures haven't been released. So that's the update on the Sport. Hi there, loving your content on the Ocean. Looking at the Ocean as an option for our next car, replacing Tesla Model 3. As a European consumer, we also have the Skoda Enyaq high in the consideration set. I notice you don't mention other EU brands as alternatives to the Fisker, mainly US and Asian brands. Are Volkswagen, Volvo, Skoda, Mercedes EVs less common in the US? I'd love to see a comparison between the Ocean and the Skoda Enyaq. The reason I'm interested specifically in Skoda is I love certain features they have, especially adaptive cruise, which I find much better than that of the Model 3, where I need to re-double tap after every lane change. Thanks for the great work. Great question. We don't have Skoda in the US. EV sales are 17% of the European market, but only 5% of the US market. The only Volkswagen Group vehicle you can buy under $60,000 is the ID4. Q4 e-tron gets an honorable mention. Don't hate me in the comments. No electric Mini, no Honda EV, no smart EVs. The BMW i4 is the only BMW under $60,000 US. No Mercedes in that price range at all. The Nissan Leaf only offers CHAdeMO fast charging, which is almost impossible to find reliably. Tesla is king here. We also have two charging standards, one that is spotty at best, so road tripping in anything except Tesla can be tricky. If adaptive cruise is a big consideration, the Fisker hasn't released it yet. It will be an over-the-air update. The current Ocean models only have standard cruise control. Thanks for your feedback. I've covered this before, but there is a price hike coming for the Ultra and the Sport. And today is the last day to take advantage of the previous price. I'm curious how the vehicles will be supported if issues arise. You submit a service request, they open a ticket, they'll come to you if they can. If they can't, they'll come to you and take your vehicle away. That's how it works right now. I've had zero communication in regards to my Ocean. Unfortunately, this is too common right now. More on that in just a second. I'm thinking of going with Sport instead of Ultra. Is the LFP battery going to be negatively affected by cold weather? And what would I do to prevent that? Keep it charged. That's always the rule with LFP. Yes, it won't perform as well in the cold, but neither will NMC. Preconditioning is crucial. Leave it plugged in, warm up the cabin, plan your departure times around the preconditioning. And we don't know how that works yet. I don't think the Fisker app can do that yet. But as long as you precondition and you can get your battery warm, you'll be okay. Will you lose range? Absolutely. But if you don't have long commutes, you'll still have enough range to get around in an Ocean Sport. A lot of people have been asking about my sentiment of the Ocean after driving and learning about the interface and knowing about the problems and the benefits and everything else. So let's just walk through the Fisker situation. It is all hands on deck. That means your software development is going to be delayed because people like Kevin are out delivering Oceans, but Fisker is delivering Oceans, which means that's a path to profitability, and a profitable company is tough to bankrupt. You're going to get the early adopter proposition when you buy an Ocean. That means, are you willing to trade the benefits that come with the Fisker Ocean for the anxiety that comes with the Fisker Ocean? And I'm not talking range anxiety. I'm talking pure anxiety. It might break down. It might need a reset. It might charge weird. The screen might go blank. Your 12-volt battery might need replaced. It might say you have no charge, and then low charge, and then some charge, and then you can't go anywhere, and then you're locked out, and you can't get back in. But all that said, this is how we make progress. Think for a second about what electric vehicles were available in 2017. What could you buy in 2017 as far as a plug-in electric vehicle? Not a plug-in hybrid. It wasn't much. How did we get this far? Guinea pigs. You are a guinea pig. That said, you get to join the Fisker Ocean Club. That's a group of people who are invested, excited about, and willing to test the idea of an exciting, sustainable SUV. Is it Apple? No, it's Android. But the Android principle is if you don't like the hardware, go get different hardware. And it's the same with Fisker, just with software. If you don't like the software, go get different software, which in the case of an automobile would be a different automobile. The Ocean is an enthusiast vehicle. People have established their brand loyalty to an OEM based on some enthusiast vehicle they either owned or wanted to own, and they compromised by buying the four-door one or the 4-cylinder one, or the gray one, or the base model? Well, this is a whole new brand. So if you own an Ocean, you are an enthusiast. So you get a badge. And the badge also changes the discussion. You have a group of enthusiasts who are not only electric enthusiasts, they are Fisker electric enthusiasts. So when somebody says, I want the new Ram 1500 or the new Subaru BRZ 3PO, this group is not interested. It has the wrong powertrain and the wrong brand name. And the Ocean puts a stop to the Osborne effect in the fact that instead of saying, I'll wait for the next one, I'll wait for the next one, you will be able to get the current one. You know, I'll wait for the Cybertruck, I'll wait for the Pear, I'll wait for the EX30, I'll wait for the Macan. Well, guess what? There's no waiting now. You've done the waiting, and now you're here. And what is here? An extremely fun to drive, super good looking, anxiety inducing, almost complete vehicle. If those things are things that you're into, and that sounds cool, hop aboard. But if one or many of those things say, hey, this might not be for me, then it's not for you. This is not a Camry. It's not even a Del Sol. It's an AE86 in 2023. If you own an AE86 in 2023, you know that there are way more problems than there are moments of ecstasy and perfection. But you take all the problems and you bet that those moments of ecstasy and perfection are worth the effort. So that about wraps it up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe for more. See ya on the next one.
Hey, smash the like button.
Thank you.